Welcome to St Mary the Angels Catholic Church in Canton, Cardiff. My name's Father Nicholas Williams. I'm Vocations Director for the Archdiocese of Cardiff, and I thought it'd be an excellent opportunity on Good Shepherd Sunday, or Vocations Sunday, to review really the reason why this Sunday is called such, Good Shepherd, and what does it mean to be a Good Shepherd. Let's examine our Gospel. It's John's Gospel, it was the last Gospel to be written, probably at the end of the first century. Jesus said, "I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd is one who lays down his life for his sheep. The hired man, since he is not the shepherd, and the sheep do not belong to him, abandons the sheep and runs away as soon as he sees a wolf coming. And then the wolf attacks and scatters the sheep. This is because he is only a hired man and has no concern for the sheep. I am the Good Shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for my sheep. And there are other sheep I have that are not of this fold, and these I have to lead as well. They too will listen to my voice, and there will be only one flock and one shepherd. The Father loves me because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me. I lay it down of my own free will, and as it is in my power to lay it down, so it is in my power to take it up again. And this is the command I have been given by my Father." So we see the imagery as very much, of course, from Judaism. It was agricultural and shepherding and the growing of crops, very much a part of normal day-to-day life. The disciples and the hearers of this gospel would have been very familiar with that imagery as a result, the difference between the Good Shepherd and the hired man. This is important for us as well when we look at vocations. A priest, if he is going to be happy and fulfilled in his priesthood, must offer himself for the mission. He must offer himself firstly as a disciple of Christ. He must want to become a priest only because Christ calls him personally to bring that fulfillment, that peace, that happiness, and that joy that comes with the Easter message, the message of the resurrection, the reality of the resurrection, that death is not the end, but the emptiness and darkness that we encounter in this life does not have the final word. It does not have the upper hand, and that ultimately good does conquer evil. Unless a priest is willing to embrace the sacrifice that is required to be a part of that mission, then he will otherwise see priesthood as a means to another end. And that end, historically speaking, has been for all sorts of different reasons, none of them leading to God. Power, influence, in certain parts of the Church's history, it has been hand in hand with wealth, especially in areas where the Church has been very closely connected with the political establishment. The Church has always been better off when it's been divorced from those temptations to unite the priesthood with secular power or whatever it might be, to purify priesthood for the mission itself, salvation of souls, and everything else then becomes secondary to that. That's the difference between the Good Shepherd and the hired man. The hired man sees priesthood as a job. Priesthood does bring rewards. It does bring joys. It does bring fulfillment. It does bring happiness, as long as we follow him faithfully. Everything else in our life, therefore, must be ordered towards God. Everything that obstructs us and stops us from listening to what God wants from us. And that takes silence, it takes patience, it takes a willingness, and it takes courage then to answer that call. Because God's call always pushes us in ways that we didn't expect. If it complies with what we want to do and that we've already planned for ourselves, the chances are that it's us and not God. If it clearly comes from outside ourselves, discerned over time in a settled way through prayer, and it pushes us out of our comfort zone to be a person that is better than we are at the moment, it's a good sign. There's a chance that God is behind that. It is in the subtlety of the quiet of our lives, those inspirations, those thoughts that we must discern. That's where God speaks to us. And it is by carefully following those quiet, whispered voices in our heart that we can embark on an adventure that is much more exciting and interesting than anything we could imagine for ourselves, only if we are capable of trusting and uniting ourselves with that mission of the Good Shepherd to bring the fold of humanity back into friendship with God.